Ciao. Oh my goodness. This is you guys freaking reading. Hello, Leo. Welcome to your December soul session. I am Marlo if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. If you're not familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality, okay? Your spirituality as well as personal development readings, in which we will look at the energies that you guys may encounter for a given month for the sole purpose of offering you clarity, insight, and guidance and all that good stuff and what's not or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, first card out. Whoa, we have the, what the heck was that? Okay, that was weird. Oh, that was my water bottle. Okay. We have the Seven of Swords. You guys know that whenever I see the Seven of Swords, I always say what you skip will trip you up later, my friend. The next card that we have is the Emperor in the reverse. What the heck is this? There's something written on the card. What the hell does that say? Why would I write that on there? That's weird. So, stability certainly, discipline, see the plan through. Why the heck would I write that? Yo, I don't know. That's weird to me. I hope, child, look, ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. I'm not even gonna say. I'm not even gonna say it out loud. Oh, child, I be doing some things, child. Wow. I'm gonna leave it alone. The Emperor in the reverse, that is Aries energy, child. And then it's the, we just gonna leave it alone. We gonna leave it alone, Lord. Anyway, we got the Emperor in the reverse right next to this Seven of Swords. Wow. Okay. I'm just trying to refocus y'all because there's only one reason that you would write on an Emperor. I said I was going to leave it alone. Anywho, coming out of November and into December, Leo, do not judge your friend Marlo. Coming into December, Leo, we have the Seven of Swords. So, of course, you know, what you skip will trip you up later, right? So the main thing that we want to identify, my wonderful Leos, is what it is that you skipped. Now, with this Emperor in the reverse, we're literally talking about either you guys, we're going to clarify it to find out specifically who we're talking about, but this could potentially be a way of disempowering oneself. That's my general interpretation of how it is that I would see this. So with this being paired with the Seven of Swords, the thing that I feel you guys are skipping, it would be something that makes you uncomfortable. It's something that creates a sense of unrest. It could be something that could potentially create conflict. Some examples of this would be an uncomfortable conversation that you need to have with a roommate, or an uncomfortable conversation you need to have with an employee, you know, a myriad of different people, but it's a conversation that, you know, could potentially upset the apple cart or, you know, create unease in the particular situation, whether this is like a boundary crossing or something that, you know, someone did, or if it's something that's literally bothering you, you know, and it's kind of trying to sidestep the situation or find a way to kind of patty cake it, you know what I mean? But truth be told, with this Emperor in the reverse, it is creating an imbalance, or in what's the word, like disempowering you because you're not standing in your full power. So it's more or less, you guys kind of diverting the path. And it's kind of funny what I'm seeing. You guys kind of diverting from your path to avoid this particular conflict. So what this would be speaking to, Leo, is kind of a history of, or a pattern of you guys not liking confrontation. So not necessarily saying this that all Leos aren't fans of confrontation, but I'm just feeling this energy signature I'm picking up on is a Leo person who doesn't particularly care for confrontation. But the thing that trips you up later in reference to this with this Emperor in the reverse is that you're not standing in your full power. So there's a need for you guys to kind of draw a line in the sand. And even though it's uncomfortable, it's a need for you to face it anyway. You know what I mean? Because what can happen here, another thing with the Seven of Swords and the Emperor in the reverse can be passive aggression, where it's not wanting to be engaged in conflict, but still needing to speak your piece. So it's kind of like throwing hints out, you know what I mean? To be able to still speak your truth in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But I feel what would be in favor to Leo moving forward from this point on, especially with this being December, us having in a solar eclipse the first week of December, going into Venus retrograde in the latter part of this month, as well as the full moon, which is always an opportunity to release something. But even more so, the fact that we're headed into 2022, and it's more or less us being in a position to where we're setting ourselves up for the next year and how it is that we want to chart our path forward. Now is a better time than ever to recognize areas in one's life in which conflict or uncomfortable situations are sidestepped or averted, right? Another way that I can see this, Leo, where it's not involving necessarily other people, but it's uncomfortable things in our life, like kind of, I don't know, there's a bill or something, right? Like your cell phone bill, hypothetically. And you know your cell phone bill is going to be kind of high, or you got to glance at it and you saw that sucker is pretty high. It's kind of knowing you need to pay it, but not wanting to focus on it or deal with it. So it's kind of like, oh, I'll deal with that eventually, and kind of forgetting about it type of deal. And it, again, puts you in a disempowered position because it's going to wrap back around and probably hit you at even more of a worse time type of deal, where your finances may be a little tighter than usual. And now it's like, okay, we're going to cut off your phone if you don't pay now, when it's something you could have dealt with beforehand. And again, this isn't just a Leo thing. This is something that all signs do. You know what I mean? It's just kind of things like money and bills and, you know, responsibilities, even if it's like your health. And I said that for another sign, like going to the dentist. It's like it's something you know that you need to do, but there's a level of fear that's associated with it, or you know, because I mean, who isn't afraid of the dentist? Okay. But there's either a level of fear that's associated with it, or there's like a financial discomfort. So it's something that you know is there, but not wanting to deal with it. So it ends up killing your vibe, and you're just procrastinating, kind of putting it off, you know, and it still puts you in a disempowered position because you're not in control of your life. It's almost like, I don't want to say it in the sense of like flat out running, because I don't feel you guys are running in every dynamic away from conflicts and stuff in every facet of your life. But I feel it's specifically things that are uncomfortable. And of course, having to pay a bill and not having the finances to cover it, or, you know, Christmas is coming, wanting to do things for friends or family or for kids, and, you know, finding out you got a bill to pay kind of rains on your parade, but you're not helping yourself by not dealing with that first. So far what it is that I'm seeing is a call for Leo to step into their power by handling their business, if that's making sense. But I'm gonna clarify this Emperor card that just made me freaking cackle. Y'all look. That is, man. As much, I haven't used this deck in a very, very long time. It was actually a gift from one of my longtime loyal members, Anna. She gifted me this deck because I've always been intrigued by it, but just could never bring myself to buy it because I was just like, I'm interested, but I don't know if I'm going to like it because I kind of have to have like an energetic connection with a deck. And she ended up just buying it and sending it to me. I love her face. She's a New Orleans native and probably understands why there's writing on this card. We're going to leave that alone. Anyway, let me clarify this Emperor in the reverse. Okay. We have okay, I just pulled my hair. We have a haughtiness in the reverse. So yeah, Leo, this is literally speaking to you guys making yourself small, right? So it's not a cockiness. It's not anything like that. And not saying that you guys should be cocky or anything like that. But I feel it's a certain special vibration that Leos operate at where it's a fine line between demure and haughty, right? It's just a special kind of Leo strength type of thing. And I feel you guys looking at it in the bigger picture of the role that each of us play in the collective representing, you know, the tribes of the zodiacs and things of the sort. I feel that the power that Leo possesses is that true servant leadership quality where Leo is a leader amongst the people. You know what I mean? And I feel that's understandable for me, specifically for this Emperor in the reverse to come out. And of course, like I said, this is very much aligned with Aries energy. And Aries is like that. I ain't down there with y'all. I'm doing me over here. But kind of how Forrest Gump ran in the movie. He was doing his own stilo running and all the people were following him. And Aries is like, look, I'm doing this for me. But if y'all want, you know, tag along, cool. But I'm just doing me, you know. But I see Leo more as servant leader. You know what I mean? It's like they're for the people as well as of the people. And that's really how I'm seeing this haughtiness. However, with this being paired with the Emperor in the reverse, you have to find that thin line balance of your authentic form of leadership, because sidestepping whatever this conflicting situation is, whether it's a bill, you know, debt, you know, credit card debt, student loans, if it's an uncomfortable conversation, whatever it is for you guys specifically, by dodging it, right? And thinking like, oh, I just don't like conflict type of thing. But sometimes that's needed. That's kind of how it is you guys step back into your power, because otherwise we're getting unbalanced and you guys are teetering more now on the side of making yourself small and not honoring your own needs being met, if that's making sense. The next card we have is the Two of Pentacles. That makes perfect sense. If this card come up one more time this month, y'all, we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse. For almost every sign, that card keeps coming out. But I mean, I get it, because it's what I'm seeing collectively for everyone. It's like a pump your brakes kind of energy. But anywho, with this Two of Pentacles that we have here, Leo, it's you guys being ambivalent and on the fence and indecisive. So it's more or less where this halt is coming in with the Eight of Wands in the reverse. And this is me intuitively picking up what's going on back here. So this is like November energy. And not necessarily in the latter part. I'm picking up more on the entire month of November. So I feel in November, you guys had a clear path or goal or something along those lines that may not even be related to this, but you were really, really confident in what you were doing. When this transitions into the latter part of the month, it's like something occurred. And if we were to put a date on it, this is probably going to be somewhere around maybe the 10th, 11th, into the midpoint of the month, like the teens. So if we said like the 10th to like the 19th or something like that, in that range. And I think the 19th last month was the Taurus full moon, partial lunar eclipse. So I don't know if it was something that was like revealed to you guys then, or something, you know, situationally that happened that leads us into this. Something became clear of what needed to be done, or something that needed to be handled. And Leo knows this is what needs to be done, yet you're still kind of carrying this energy into December, and you're still actively kind of sidestepping it, but you're very clear of this needing to be handled. However, with what it was in the beginning of the month that you guys were focused on before this particular hiccup kind of thing, it's almost like it upset the apple cart to where it kind of threw off the energy, where with this Two of Pentacles, where you were in the beginning of November and the confidence and the assurance you had to move forward, that's a little muddled now, because it's still the energetic burden that Leo is carrying in reference to this thing that you're avoiding. So now it's like, I don't really know what I should be doing or how to move forward, or can I really do this? Because I feel like whatever this thing is, it kind of stifled your confidence. And now you're comparing yourself post finding out or experiencing whatever this is to you prior to experiencing this. So pre you and post you, right? You're comparing apples to apples. And that experience is almost like overshadowing that confidence that you had before. So it's almost like how Leo would be assessing themselves, not all Leos, but whatever Leos resonate with this, is almost like that confidence you had in the beginning of November was like false bravado. Like thinking like I really thought I was going to get this. We're going to slay, like get the bag type of thing. This thing happens. It kind of, shaves a little or pokes a little at your confidence. And now it's like, let me just make myself small. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, I don't even know if this is a look, because y'all always be telling me when I say hypothetically that be the situation. So I'm saying this is a hypothetical. I don't know. I usually don't disclaimer it like that, but I don't know if this is something someone's actually going through. But I'm seeing like a person that's like an influencer, and not saying that they're like a big, huge influencer or anything. I'm feeling more the vibe of like a boss babe, right? Like, like the boss babe trope of like, let me show you how to make a 6-figure salary in 6 months or something like that. Or like, single moms, let me show you how to, whatever type of deal, right? I'm seeing someone kind of like that. And the thing is, this person has an idea of wanting to be like that boss babe guru influencer type, right? And it's almost like in the beginning of November, like putting this, energy I'm seeing into a literal scenario. It's being hella excited about launching your website, putting your product out there, and you being like the face of the brand and showing people how to live their best life. But it's like in the midpoint of November, it's like something happens. And if I could make this extra tea, right? Let's say that this is a person who's an aspiring influencer, and a great deal of your content centralized around you and your romantic partner, like husband, boyfriend, whatever, or if you're a dude, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever the case, right? So they were a central part of like your content and stuff, right? And how to have a happy relationship, blah, 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 Now, midpoint of the month, say hypothetically, you find out that this person cheated, and now it's like, I'm supposed to launch the business, right? In, 2022, like January, right? Now I know that my partner like cheated, but my partner don't know that I know that they cheated. Right. And this is all hypothetical, y'all, just to get the little energy signature out. But it's like, I know they cheated. My partner doesn't know that I know that they cheated. Now it's like stuff you need to be preparing for your launch in January, right? But because you're supposed to launch in January, it's kind of like not saying to your partner that you know that they cheated. So even though that's something that's a betrayal that's extremely hurtful, it's like making yourself small because you don't want to, like, and I'm not saying that you don't want to deal with it, but it's like maybe second guessing yourself, like, I mean, did they really cheat? Like, did I really see what I thought that I saw? Am I reading too much into it? And I feel that that doubt that comes up with you not standing in your truth and just cutting ties regardless of the business or what have you. You know what I mean? It has you in this ambivalence with the Two of Pentacles. And that's where this is an energy now that's starting to bleed into other facets of your life, and it's an inability to move forward. So whereas in the beginning of November, you guys were like here, you know, like, we're going to do this, we're going to say, we're going to get the bag, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case, this thing that transpired, it's not just the thing that transpired, it was the response to what transpired, right? This thing happened and Leo didn't stand up for Leo, right? And the discord or the ambivalence or confusion or, you know, self-doubt, stagnancy, all of that stuff isn't coming from just that particular situation, right? Whatever that is for you specifically, it's coming from the fact that Leo did not confront it. Leo didn't stand up and say, you know, I don't know, I got flowers from you with somebody else's name on it. You know what I'm saying? And your name, or I saw a charge on the credit card bill, or whatever the case. It's, you know, and that's the thing that's causing the disempowerment. And it's interesting to see it that way, because I think in the typical sense, one would think, oh, all of this, you know, doubting oneself, whatever, came from what another person did or from the bill or whatever. But the action of disempowering, because like what the other person did, if I could use like a you know, a Buddhist proverb here, it's like what's happening is happening, right? Everything is just happening. But we're the ones who choose, you know, how to respond to what is happening. But at the end of the day, what's happening is happening. So whether this is a bill, this is, you know, you finding out something that somebody was doing, whatever the case, that's something that's happening. Now, with that being a vibration that's happening, Leo gets to choose how they respond to it, right? And how Leo is choosing to respond at the moment is like denial, disassociation, you know, kind of smudging it over, I'll deal with it later type of deal. And that's really the true source of the disempowerment, not the situation within itself. I hope that that makes sense, Leo. So let's see what else we have for you guys. So I feel with this pause, like I've been seeing that for a lot of people, it's like we cannot pass go and collect $200. I feel this is really spirit saving us from ourselves in so many words. Next card that you guys have is the Ace of Cups. So this is emotional. Come on, throw triangle. Don't play with me today. This is, of course, emotional fulfillment, you know, your heart welling over with the things of which you desire. And here is the thing, the consistent theme I'm seeing in the collective this month. I feel this pause is giving everyone an opportunity to get clear and to proverbially sober up before we move forward in an unbalanced energy. So I feel you guys being in this ambivalence, not really knowing what the next step is, and not being able to move forward with what the plans were initially, is because all signs are pointing back to this, which is our first two cards of Leo making themselves small, sidestepping this thing because it's uncomfortable. This is a call saying that this needs to be dealt with, right? Because what's coming is this Ace of Cups. It's something that's very emotionally fulfilling, right? like I always tell you guys with the 7 of Cups, what you skip will trip you up later. This is something that's coming, that's a part of your later. Every 10 exists within the ace, I always say. So that means that your 10 of Cups, something that's extremely emotionally fulfilling and very much in alignment with you and a reflection of your true values and things of the sort, this is something that you're cultivating from this point forward, right? So just like I was saying with that bill, if you don't pay this bill, and when it's time for the phone to get turned off, right, you're in, a tight spot financially, that's making matters worse. Whereas we could have just took the L, paid the bill now, and not had to deal with it later, where it ends up being a rain on your parade of your 10 of the cuppies, right? So this is saying to me, Leo, that you guys are headed or on a crash course with something that's very fulfilling for you and something that's very much in alignment with you. And why this pause is happening, it's to prevent you from, and I'm gonna say it this way, it's almost like preventing you from sabotaging your own success, because what you're headed towards could be great, but because of the way that energy works, man, it's like, it's a cycle. What goes around always comes around. So we can't cheat life. We can't keep, sidestepping lessons and things of the sort. So this is like the conflict you're trying to avoid, or the discomfort is going to come up again, and you don't want it to come up again in an energy such as this. Next card that we have is the 3 of Wands. So this is all about your ships coming in, child. This is leaving behind anything that is no longer in alignment with you, the things that aren't a true reflection of you, or even an energy in which you're kind of ambivalent. You're not really sure, is it this way or is it that way? You know what I mean? And I even look at it in the perspective too, how I've been talking to a lot of people this month about the middle road and transcending timelines, like temperance energy and things of the sort. I can also see this in the 3 of Wands as well, where the way that you handled, how you're handling things now, how you handled stuff in the past, that neither one of those ways are the way. The new way forward is an entirely new path that you're charting, that's taking you in the direction of what it is that you truly want and you want to manifest into your life. The next card that we have is the 4 of Coins. And you guys know this is all about stagnancy. And I always say with this, whenever we're holding on to something too tightly out of a scarcity mindset, or a fear of loss, or even in this particular case, a fear of conflict, we're trying to hold on to the stability. We're overvaluing keeping the peace, or being kind, or being palatable, or, being docile, or whatever it is in your particular case. We're overvaluing that, other people's perspectives of us, other people's perceptions of us, or our fear of losing something, right? We're overvaluing that than our own self, standing up for our own truth, or living in accordance with our own values. And now that scale starts to teeter the other way. So now we're getting off balance. You know what I mean? So like I was saying with you guys, Leo is that median line. You guys are the authentic, true definition of what leadership is. That's the light that you shine into the world. You're not megalomaniacs, you know what I mean? And then you're not absolutely like passive. So there has to be a balance there. It's so the same with this. So it's something that you guys are holding on to. And I believe it's this guy right here, a way of dealing with things indirectly and not facing challenges head on. And what this message is saying is that if one doesn't release this particular pattern, this can be something that stagnates your progress to a halt moving forward. And then if we were to get into even deeper with this card, I always say that the 4 of Pentacles, it cuts off our heart chakra when we're cutting ourselves off from other people, situations, circumstances, meaning we're not living in alignment with our highest truth. Once we cut off from that, our chakra becomes imbalanced, either overactive or underactive, right? With that being like our mixer chakra, like the intercessor between our 3 human chakras and our 3 upper chakras, right? That then is, and I'm sitting up here pointing like y'all can see, but it ends up cutting off our crown chakra, which is our connection to spirit. because we need to be in connection with ourselves, right? Heart space. And thus, that's what connects us to the higher power, the divine, right? To receive information and things of the sort. But now we're starting to turn into the form of 3D because we're, fear is sponsoring us to cling to something that isn't in service to us anymore, either out of scarcity, fear, what have you. And we end up getting stagnated. So it's like emotional or energetic hoarding, right? This can also manifest in the 3D where it's holding on to money, not spending it. You know what I mean? Harboring emotions that one doesn't want to speak about because it's uncomfortable, whatever the case. It speaks to a stagnation and grasping too tightly to something. And when we hold too tightly to something, it stagnates us, right? I in some other readings, I gave you guys a whole lecture about how it works with energy. Like when we bring things into the 3D, the like low vibrational emotions, they're heavy for a reason. And the longer we hold on to something, it starts to become more and more dense. You know what I mean? And then it's going to start manifesting in into the 3D, whether it's in our physical body, in our finances, or what have you. So this is about releasing something. I feel like this is a method you guys have utilized for some time that has kept you safe, or that you just felt, was the right thing to do because, I'm just not a person who likes conflict. You know what I mean? And as a Taurus, I feel you on that because I'm really not a fan of conflict. But at the same time, when it becomes a violation of oneself, that's when it becomes a whole nother issue, right? Of course, you don't want to start conflict. I don't think that's the case with Leo at all. But sometimes we need a little bit of conflict to rustle a little bit of feathers in order for us to get things back into alignment, if that's making sense. So let's see what else we have. Okay. We have the 6 of Wands in the reverse. So that's the thing, dude. And with this falling underneath this Emperor in the reverse and this haughtiness in the reverse, this is a forewarning, Leo. This is a forewarning. This pause that's happening is a need to have a reality check, right? What you guys are working towards, it's coming for you. I feel that things for you guys are, good Lord, and here goes the Hierophant in the reverse again. That is Taurus energy. I feel for you guys, man, let me think about that for a second. The Hierophant in the reverse came up in Virgo. And we were talking about this whole dynamic between two people. I don't think it's the same thing. I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it would be for like Leos that are subscribed to me for what it is that I was seeing with that. I can see themes of it though. With the 6 of Wands in the reverse, I'm looking at this like a half-hearted victory. Like, and I'm saying this because it's like a foretelling, like this Ace of Cups with the sitting in the center of your spread. It's an opportunity that's being offered, but it's an opportunity that's being offered, but it's overshadowed by these two energies of, is it really a victory? Posing it as a question, because if we're talking about transformation or ascension, if we say it in that context, right? A true transformation is going into a complete, totally different form, much like butterflies who have a different DNA composition than they did as caterpillars, by the way, right? So Leo, if you guys are moving forward into 2022 with this inspiration and this desire to create the life that you've always wanted, right? Or if an opportunity is offered to you in the midpoint of this month, so like between the 12th and the 18th, if there's an opportunity that's offered to you, is it really a win if one has not learned anything from this past cycle and not made the changes that were necessary, right? Or if we were to put this into more of a situational context, if one knows that they're in debt, right, and has bills to pay, if you went on an all, inclusive kind of vacation, You know what I mean? And you still have this hanging over you. Like, is it really worth it if the entire time that you're on this vacation, you're hoping that, you know, when you get back, that your cell phone not off, that you didn't get evicted, you know what I'm saying? That utilities didn't cut off, that your car isn't like repossessed, you know? And all of that goes back to the stepping stuff. You know, if, you know, you get promoted or what have you, and you know your whole staff, like there's a staff member that you know that stole money from the company, you know, would you still feel as, you know, confident going into this, knowing in the back of your mind that everyone is saying like how your entire, you know, team is full of integrity and an asset to the company, and deep down inside you know that there's a person that is on your staff that's stealing inventory or, you know, stealing money from the company, you know, and it ends up overshadowing it. So it kind of, if one were to continue this way without dealing with this, it's almost like it would be robbing you of that full experience that you're intended to have. And it can provoke you even deeper into a mindset of almost like imposter syndrome. You know what I mean? Where you start to feel like you're being fake, or you're starting to question yourself on, am I really being true? Am I really being authentic? And, you know, so even if we went back to our influencer example, it's like, if this person never says anything to the partner about the fact that they know that they cheated, and it's like, you know, doing all of these videos about how to have a happy relationship and how to have a successful marriage, happy couple, da 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 da. And while you're doing all of that, deep down inside, it's like you're feeling like a fraud. You know what I mean? Because you know that you're not really in this situation, but you're not doing anything about it either. You feel what I'm saying? And that's where this comes to this Hierophant in the reverse, right? Where it's not, you know, anti-Christ per se, you know what I mean? But it's like the anti-you. It's the polar opposite of what it is that you're intended to be standing in. Because going back to what I was saying in the beginning, Leo, you are an example of servant leadership, a person who is for the people and of the people, whoever the people may be to you. But if you guys are feeling, and even if you think about like, what is it, like Courage, the cowardly lion, and like, oh wait, no, he wanted courage. That was the Tin Man that wanted a heart. But I always affiliate heart with Leo, and them doing things from, you know, the burning, fiery passion within, right? But if you're not being true to yourself, and not even saying this in an identity sense, but it's like, if you're not being true to yourself by even standing up for your boundaries or calling people out, if a person offended you or, you know, crossed your boundaries, lied, whatever the case, just because it's uncomfortable, it's like you're violating yourself in the same way this other person has. And those feelings of imposter syndrome can come from that space of knowing that you're not living in alignment with your core values, which is another thing that we can see in the Hierophant in the reverse. So this whole month, Leo, and I think any pauses or delays that you guys experience in December is for a very specific purpose of you guys coming to the realization of how and what ways you're tripping yourself up later by avoiding things that you know that you need to deal with, regardless if that's conversations, money, or what have you. Because another thing that descends you into the stagnant energy of the Four of Pentacles is what it is that you're holding on to is avoidance, diverting, avoiding, you know what I mean? Or if it's in the sense of passive aggression, you feel that you can't speak your truth, you're holding on to that resentment within yourself because you can't speak up for yourself, or you feel that you can't speak up for yourself. So even though the energy is in your favor for you guys to be victorious, right? for you guys to be in leadership position, to, you know, step into your call as teacher or what have you, or just, you know, simply living out your life in accordance with your values, right? It's like this energy is being blocked by you dealing with this conflict within yourself, right? Of not standing up, not doing externally what's in alignment with what it is that you're feeling internally. So this month is all about getting back to you, your core values, your foundation, your boundaries. You know what I mean? And speaking up for yourself in accordance to it, because otherwise you're making yourself smaller and smaller until you stagnate yourself out. And with this energy that's coming in, it's going to come regardless, but it's kind of the option that Leo is being offered is, do you want to enter this new year with a clear conscience, right? Or do you want to enter yet another year with the same, you know, burdens that you may have bore for years prior to, is what it is that I'm seeing for you guys. And I hope and pray that that makes sense. So now I'm going to pull you guys surrender card, because it is Surrender December. And of course, we're talking about leaving things behind. I think that's the reason why all of the collective readings are coming out that way. It's like, it's almost like a divine intervention in the form of a skirt, so we can wake up and come to and see what it is that we're doing. And for a lot of you, this very well may be coming out with this solar eclipse that we're having on the 4th, because buku stuff be getting exposed during them times, you know what I'm saying? So it could be very possible, not necessarily in reference to someone else, it could be, but you seeing the state that you're in and how all of this interconnects of how it is we got here in the first place could be something that's brought to your attention. But whatever the case, what's beautiful is that, you know, success is assured for you guys moving forward. It's just the opportunity you're being offered is to choose, like, success is around the corner, right? You're about to walk into success, but your option this month is how do you want to walk into that success, if that's making sense? Heavy or light, my friend. So anywho, we're going to pick a card from my surrender deck for what you guys will behoove you guys to surrender in the month of December. And this is a card that's a part of the first section of you guys reading, because with it being December and you guys extended, they are the 2022 soul scopes. And if you want an example of what those look like, take a gander at the tarot marathon on my channel. That'll give you an idea of what it is we are going to be doing over yonder. So let's see what, okay, there it is. Surrender worry. Okay. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that spirit is guiding you always. Dude, I'm trying to tell you, I legit feel, Leo, that, and I love how I mentioned the heart, but Leo, I literally feel for you guys that a lot of the anxiousness and worry that you guys may be dealing with on a regular basis, like just like how old boy is like, you know, looking behind his back, like he's moving forward, but he keeps looking behind himself. Like, I got to check my surroundings, make sure ain't nobody following me. A lot of this stuff can be avoided by confronting things head on. So I feel a lot of the worry and the anxiousness that you guys have is almost that nagging, you know, persistent voice deep within that's saying, you know, you got to deal with this. You know, you got to pay that. You're gonna have to talk to them eventually, you know. And as opposed to having to put yourself through that, I think it's best to start confronting things head on, so that, you know, any worries that you guys have don't start to consume your consciousness and make you start to question, you know, yourself, what you're doing, or where it is that you're headed, where you end up kind of undermining yourself. Whoa. I don't know why I want to take all these. I mean, this one shot out, but these two were kind of sticking straight up. So we're going to take all of them, dang nabbit. So the first one says self-actualization. It says a state of positive growth that gives life form and meaning, development of own unique spirituality, knowing one's true self and potential, and actively embodying it, self-fulfillment. Child, if that ain't a word. Next, we have, blessings. Abundance, success, wishes fulfilled, positivity, generosity, warmth, and divine grace. Dog, this is y'all reading. Child, oh my goodness. This is you guys freaking reading. That's exactly what I'm saying. What's coming is coming. It's all about you choosing how it is that you want to step into this new season. Child, I'm just saying. Next, we have attachment, hashtag 4 of the Pentacles. And it says dependence, codependency, people pleasing, feeling need to give more than received, binding, suffering, repression of feelings, and needs delaying acceptance of situation, attachment of thoughts or situations that hinder personal growth. Child, I'm trying to tell you, this need to be confronted because that's holding you back, my Leo. Yeah, I'm saying. But anywho, I'm going over to my network and Vimeo, Patreon, YouTube members, all the places to do you guys 2022 Soul Scope. So if you're about that life, Leo, follow me on over there. But if not, I still love your freaking face. And I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends.